Assalamualaikum. We are from Group MGS. My name is Muhammad Hafizuddin, and my group and I will be representing about Malaysian government securities. But first, allow me to introduce my group mates. First, we have Nabil Hakimi, Arif Ifan, Alif, and Ame. So, first of all, I will be explaining about market player. First, government and debt issuance. The Malaysian government issues marketable debt instruments, notably Malaysian government securities, which is MGS, to raise funds for development expenditures. These are long-term interest-bearing bonds that tap into the local capital market. Bank Negara Malaysia, BNM, the Central Bank of Malaysia. Bank Negara Malaysia plays a crucial role as the government's banker and advisor. It helps with the planning, issuing, and facilitating the debt instruments. BNM also oversees the auction process for government securities, managing market infrastructure and maintaining stability. Malaysian Government Investment Issues (MGII), a subset of MGS. Malaysian Government Investment Issues (MGII) are long-term Islamic debt securities that adhere to Shariah principles. These serve as instruments for raising funds within Malaysia's Islamic finance sector. So number 4 is corporations and other issuers. Local. Local corporations also issue bonds, commercial papers, and medium-term notes (MTNs). In addition to MGS, these debt instruments help business raise capital for expansion and operations. Number 5 is non-resident investor. International investor, including foreign government investment managers, pension funds, and insurance companies, are significant participants in the Malaysian fund market. Their involvement provides liquidity to the secondary market. So, number 6, long-term investors. Around 55% of bond holding in Malaysians are held by long-term investors, such as pension funds and insurance firms. These investors are drawn by the country's strong market and infrastructure, investment-grade credit ratings, and liquid secondary markets. So last but not least, auction process. Competitive auctions for government securities are typically held 3 working days before the issue date and conclude the day before. During these auctions, principal dealers appointed by Bank Negara Malaysia submit both proprietary and client bids. The principal dealers help manage the issuance process and ensure that the market is efficiently served. So we'll be moving to Arif.
Okay, I will continue about the reason for the issuance of Malaysian government securities (MGS) and the importance of this financial instrument in supporting the country development. Okay, for the first one, raising funds for government expenditure. The Malaysian government issue MGS primarily to raise funds from the domestic capital market. These funds are crucial for financing development expenditure and meeting the working capital needs of the government, helping to sustain national growth. The second one is supporting infrastructure and development project. A key reason for issuing government securities is to finance critical infrastructure projects, from road network to public services and even military infrastructure. These bonds provide the necessary capital for the government to invest in building and upgrade essential national infrastructure. The third is regulating the money supply. In addition to raising funds, government securities also play an important role in regulating the money supply within the company. By issuing this debt instrument, the government can influence liquidity levels, helping to maintain financial stability and control inflation. Number 4 is ensuring financial security. Government securities are backed by the full guarantee of the government, ensuring the repayment of the principal invested along with any agreed upon interest. This make them a low risk investment, offering security to investors and fostering confidence in the market. Alright, the lastly is facilitating public investment. Finally, by issuing MGS through competitive actions, the government invites both domestic and international investors to participate in national development. This helped to diversify the investor base and ensure public participation in financing the nation growth. So we go to the next.
Malaysian Government Securities (MGS) are a lower-risk investment instrument guaranteed by the Malaysian government, making them a secure choice for conservative investors, including pensioners. They offer stable returns through regular interest payment and provide flexibility, as they can be bought or sold in the secondary market, allowing investors to adjust their portfolios during volatile market. MGS also serves as a diversification tool, buffering high-risk investment like stocks, and may offer tax benefits depending on the investor status, with a higher yield compared to government bonds from developed countries and currency hedges in Malaysia's ringgit (MYR). MGS are ideal for those seeking steady income, portfolio stability, and a long-term growth. Additionally, investing in MGS support national development projects, making them not just a financial investment but also a contribution to Malaysian future.
Next, we move to the characteristic of Malaysian government securities. Government issue bonds are called government securities. In the end of the maturity period of long term, the principal amount is paid to the investors. Investors of long-term government securities with maturity of over a year receive the interest in form of loan repayments. Very rarely do the governments fail to pay debts on time, have thus been tagged as risk-free as products. They are characteristic of instrument government securities. First of all, the characteristic of government securities is that they have no credit risk, which means credit risk is the chance that the borrower will not be able to pay back the loan interest payment. Government rarely fail to pay their debts on deadline. If they were into default on their debt, it will be difficult and expensive to borrow money in the future. Even when nations experience severe crises, they will work to prevent default. For example, the government of India has never missed a payment on a debt. Therefore, government securities are assumed to have no credit risk. Moreover, the instrument characteristic is that they have a coupon payments. Relating the coupon payment is bond interest payments. The interest is calculated based on the face value of government securities. These payments are calculated using an annual interest rate and paid regularly, which are quarterly, semi-annually, and so on. This has an even longer maturity period compared with other options such as fixed deposits. Government securities investment might prove to be rather fruitful for an investor seeking regular income. Higher rates of interest are also feasible through bonds, the coupon payments in bonds. Other than that, the nature of government securities also offer lowest return. Any investment carries a certain amount of risk. The investors will be compensated a risk premium for payment for the risk. Government securities normally does not have a risk premium since if presumed there is no risk. The returns offered by government securities are lower compared to corporate bonds or other securities because there is no risk premium. The last of the government securities characteristics are tradable on the secondary markets. On the secondary market, government securities can be bought and sold. Banks and other significant financial institutions will be the only ones allowed to invest in government securities until recently. Retail investors could now invest in government securities too with the introduction of the retail direct gift scheme.
Next, I will tell you about the tenure of instrument by MGS. MGS is defined as the Malaysia government security, which are important reference to the capital market in Malaysian financial system, refers to the set of tools by which the government of Malaysia finance its budget and controls the need for borrowing funds. MGS are medium to long-term fixed rate bonds with a term of to 30 years and mostly uptake by essential market, which includes pension funds, insurance companies, bank, among others. These bonds are fantastically secure. They pay a set rate of interest, such as coupon, at set intervals and a further sum at maturity, and are used as a reference point for other debt instrument in Malaysia. Next, MDS is floated by the Bank Negara Malaysia (BNM) through a competitive tender process with a view of achieve improved cost. The issue amount may vary between 1 million and 4.5 billion ringgit, depending on the government requirements or market condition, with a special insurance calendar that BNM posts on an annual basis with regards to timing, method, and tenure. Market risk is minimized while liquidity is improved. Also, the government launched Government Investment Issue (GII), which is the Islamic bond preferred by investors who want to invest in ethical as well as religious financial instruments. Similar with MGS, GII has a fixed maturity and it is sold through auction. There has been increased demand for GII due to increasing demand for Islamic financial assets.
So, as a conclusion, MGS is more than a financial tool. It is empowerly focusing on economic growth and Malaysian finance stability. So, we hope this might be clear for you, and we'll see you again next time.